Hi guys, Jason here. Welcome back to another layout update. I have some really cool things to show you. It's been a little while, but I've added some equipment, done some things scenery-wise to make the layout a little better, and I'm going to show you what all those things are, and I think you're really going to enjoy it, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, first on the list are these Lionel ethanol tank cars. These came out recently, and Lionel offered 4 different road paint schemes in 3 packs. So there's 12 cars total that are available, and I got all 12. You can see the ADM paint scheme in front of you here in the Procore, and the UTLX and ACFX paint schemes on this side. There's 12 cars, like I said, and I'm going to do a full review on these, I think. I think you guys would enjoy seeing the details of these cars and seeing how nice they are. There's a lot of great things to say about them, and I think I'm going to make that my next video. Just let me know if that's what you guys want to see. Like I said, I really think that's something I'd like to review, and that should be coming pretty soon. Alright, another cool item to show you. This is an MTH genset in the Norfolk Southern paint scheme. This isn't anything new from MTH, it's been out for a few years, but someone I met on YouTube is getting out of O-scale and switching to HO, and he had a few items that he thought I might be interested in, and it turns out we live in the same town, live really close to each other, so I came over to look at a few things he was getting rid of, and this is one of them. It was almost a brand new engine, runs very nicely. All I had to do was change the battery in it, and it's an item that I've been wanting to add to the layout for a long time, but it just was never a priority, and I never quite had the money set aside for it. But I got a nice deal on it, and the timing was just right, and it's a nice addition to the layout, so you'll see this run in a little bit. Okay, another real cool item to show you guys. This is the Norfolk and Western 611, famous steam locomotive that's currently being restored to be operational again here in the next year or so. Again, got this from the same gentleman who sold me the genset. Got it at a really nice price. Just a little background behind this locomotive. When I was a little kid, I wanted to buy an MTH scale 611, and it was just too much money for me at the time. I ended up getting the ready-to-run 612, so it was the same kind of Norfolk and Western J-class locomotive, but it was Rail King and not scale. This was the last Proto 2 run that MTH did of the 611, and I'm really lucky to have it. It has the excursion sound sets in it. It's got real nice deep whistle, real great chuff sounds. You'll see this run in a minute, but again, got this at a great deal. I'm really happy with it, and it looks really great pulling my Norfolk and Southern passenger cars. Really glad that I was able to add this to the layout. And also worth showing you is this Union Pacific Gondola. This was thrown in with the genset and the Norfolk and Western. Same guy getting rid of his O-scale stuff. Threw this in as well. It's pretty cool. I don't have anything really Union Pacific, not in scale anyways, so it's a nice addition, and I've got this running around the layout as well. Alright, one more really fun item that I added to the layout. Again, I got this from the same gentleman who gave me the 2 engines and the Gondola car. This is one of the Z-Stuff signals. These work by you wire them in, and they have an optical sensor in them, and when you run your hand or run the engine past the optical sensor, it'll change to red and then switch back to yellow and then to green. I can show you really quick. If I just move my hand in front of it, it switches to red. And then a few seconds later, it'll change to yellow, and then back to green. So this is really cool. I thought it was a good place to put the signal. Maybe I'll add some other Z-Stuff signals around the layout, but I think what I will probably do is maybe buy some of the Z-Stuff optical sensors themselves and just hook my other signals into them. I have this Lionel signal bridge on the layout as well that hasn't been wired in, but you know, I might be able to get that working properly if I add some of those sensors. So we'll see. It's just a really cool addition to the layout. Adds another kind of touch of realism. Okay, now let's walk around the layout a little bit, and I'll show you what I've actually been working very hard on. If you look around the layout, you'd probably say nothing has been done. And you're right, because there really hasn't been anything major that anybody would notice. But believe it or not, I actually had almost every engine taken off the layout because I was working all the way in the back towards the mountain. Now you might be able to notice when you look closely, but the center of that mountain looks a little different from the rest of it, and that's because I ripped out the entire center section of that mountain and redid it. Now what happened was when I built the mountain, I didn't support the plaster well enough with the internal shell or internal skeleton of the mountain. So after I added the plaster, it actually caved in a little bit over here, and nothing could go into the mountain that was like an MTH double stack. Pretty much none of my double stacks could go through there. My auto racks couldn't go through. Some of my other big cars couldn't make it either. They'd run into the mountain and derail or just stop the whole train. And it was bugging me for a really long time. And I also was having problems with the tunnel portals right here and the other one that's here that you can't see. And even right down here, stuff was bumping into this stone wall, some of the things that were really big. And even coming up here on the ramp, there were spots along here scenery-wise that certain cars couldn't go up the ramp to the top level because of clearance issues. Now, I built this layout with the full intention of being able to run the biggest cars, the biggest engines, and even I made mistakes with those intentions. So I bought the 611, which was an awesome engine to run, and I wanted to be able to run it on the top level. And this is actually the biggest steam locomotive I own right now, and I know I want to add the MTH Allegheny here soon. That's going to be coming out. So I knew that if I wanted to run that on the top level, I'd better make some changes. So I kind of undertook my own like Northeast Corridor project for my layout, and I got a Dremel tool and kind of went to town on the tunnel portals. They look a little beat up, a little cut up, but I don't really mind. I cut them up, painted them, a lot of dust, had to redo a lot of scenery and ballast that kind of got messed up. So I cut up that portal a little bit. Like I said, I completely ripped up the centerpiece of the mountain there. And I mean, I think I did a pretty good job of patching it back up. I just used some painted crumpled up paper and then added scenery and bushes, grass and stuff to it. Again, I don't think you'd really notice it unless you had been looking for it. Cut up that tunnel here a little bit, had to redo scenery, and then I actually took out these bridge supports. The ballast was all messed up, scenery all messed up, and I grinded down the wall right here a little bit so that nothing was bumping into it anymore. And then coming up the elevation to the top level, you can't really see the things that I changed, but ripped up a lot of section here and had to paint over some bare plaster. And then everything pretty much was clear once it made it past that point. But the good news is, after a few days of hard work, I can now run all of my double stacks, all my steam engines, all my auto racks, all my big cars can now run the top loop, go to the top loop, and I have no troubles. And it was almost a discouraging project because I had so much of the layout ripped up and messed up. But fortunately I knew how to put it all back together pretty well and do the scenery so that it looked nice. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I'll show the intermodal running around the top loop so you see what I mean, but I'm very happy with the way it turned out. It was just one of those things that even though I planned the layout to be able to run the big equipment, I still made mistakes and it was just bugging me so much I decided to finally do something about it. I also wanted to point out really quick, you probably can't tell, but I expanded the ballast in this section here, kind of moved it out a little bit. I'd like to expand it a little bit more in this area, maybe expand the ballast down here, just to make it a little more prototypical looking. I just need to go buy more ballast, but it's just a little touch of realism that I'm working on. Also wanted to point out that I might be adding some shelves here, more shelves pretty soon. I have those two shelves there, and I have this shelf here, and I'm actually thinking about putting one in along this side of the layout here where that black cloth is. I could probably fit a lot more trains, maybe even put one on that wall there, but we'll see. Just something to look forward to. I'll have another layout update in a few weeks, I'm sure, giving you guys some more information on more progress that I make. Alright, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this layout update. I had a lot of fun working on the layout the last few weeks. I want to just thank you all again for watching my videos. Just wanted to say I'm actually going to be moving in a few weeks. I graduated from Ohio State a few weeks ago and I accepted a job in Chicago, so I'm actually going to be moving to downtown Chicago. Can't take the layout with me, it'll stay here at my parents' place, but I'll try to work on it whenever I come home, still try to make some videos. We'll see how it goes. If you know any good train clubs in the Chicago area, O-scale train clubs, please let me know. but I'll be in for a few more weeks. And if you're interested in seeing the layout, if you're in the Cleveland area, which is where I'm from the west side of Cleveland, if you're interested in seeing it, go ahead and drop me an email. I'm going to include my email in the description below. Send me an email and maybe we can set something up. I've already shown the layout to a couple people in the last few weeks, so let me know if you'd be interested in that. Moving ahead, like I said, I want to do the review on those Lionel ethanol tank cars. I'll do another full layout update in a few weeks and go over pretty much everything again. Kind of if you're a first timer, you'd be able to get an overall understanding of the layout. Alright, a question that I know is going to come up, and it's already come up a few times. It's, are you ordering anything from the new Lionel catalog, and are you going to get the big boy? And to answer your question, no, I'm not going to order the big boy. As much as I'd like to have it, it's really just too expensive for me, for someone who's just getting out of college and moving to a new city and starting a new job. It's not a priority of mine. You really have to save a long time to afford something like that. It's very cool. I'm excited to see other people get them and review them, but that's not something that I'm going to be getting. I am, however, ordering some of the box cars, the high cube auto parts box cars that you can see on this page right here, so I plan to get a few of those. And I'm also looking at a few things in the new MTH catalog as well. So I might see a few things get added here or there, but I really just don't know how much I'm going to be able to enjoy the layout over the next few years. You know, I can't take this with me, but I can still enjoy it when I'm back home. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for subscribing and commenting. Just ask any questions that you have below. I'd be happy to answer them. And I'll have some more videos coming real soon. I'm going to be working down here in the basement on videos. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Jason, and we'll see you next time.
Let's get our team. We've got a schedule to keep. Broncos dead cold. Grab a shovel and spread that coal. Check the level of the tinder, will ya?